How's it going, everybody? You guys ever had any problems with a brand new chainsaw before? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us have. Well, if yours is leaking oil real bad like mine, and I'll show you just in a minute, you might stick around. Maybe this video will help you learn how to fix yours. And keep in mind, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just too poor to have people do it for me, so I try to do it myself. Anyways, let me get up here, get in the shop, and I'll show you what's going on. Alright, so I came in here, I picked my saw up from right here, this big oil slick. I put it over here on the table. And I'll get to showing you a little bit more in just a second. Let me talk about this. I set my saw here 2-3 days ago full of oil because I wanted to see if I fixed the oil leak on it. Obviously I did not. So, what I think's happening is the oil's slipping by this little rubber piece here. And I'll get to showing you that in a minute. That's also held by this. So, that's all underneath here. But I wanted to take a second, because I already took 1 or 2 things off this saw. I'm going to take a second to show you guys. You can see all this oil here. There really ain't much. But when you get under here, it looks like it's coming from here somewhere. I mean, it's just pouring out of this thing. So I don't know if it's coming out, falling down in behind some stuff or whatnot. I don't really know. But let me rewind a little bit here. When you got your saw ready to take apart just like so, you'll come over here and you get your fancy little tool that comes with your saw or whatnot. And you'll undo this nut. You'll take it off. Before you go pulling on this thing, make sure that this is pushed back and like popped into place, okay? Because if not, 1, this is not going to want to come off here just as easy as that. But 2, if you do pull it off, because I've done this once before when I took this apart the first time, this little thing here that is clicked into place, and when you go to put it back on there, it won't fucking go. And the spring that holds this into place goes all the way down up over here, and it's real hard to click back over. You can, and while trying so, I broke a little tab right here where my thumbnail is. But you can do it. It's a little hard. So when you take it off, make sure it's clicked back. Just want to throw that out there before you start taking it apart like I did. I did fill this thing full of oil the other day. Let me see if there's actually... Alright, before we get too carried away, this is a Husqvarna 440 with an 18-inch bar. Not really too worried about the bar length. We're more so worried about the saw. Oh yeah, I'm going to make sure that we actually got oil still in this thing, because the last time we did this, oh Jesus, last time I put oil in here, I filled it all the way up. And we still got oil in it, which is good. It's probably about 3/4 full. And it's better than the last time. Before I took this apart, I don't know, a week or so ago, all this oil would have been out. That's why I had to take it out of my box over here on the ground, because I mean it just dumped all that oil into that thing, and I just haven't cleaned it yet. So here's what we're looking at here. This is that chain guide, which is what we bought there, and then underneath, that's what this little rubber deal is. It comes down in here. It's an oiler. But to take this off, I'll have to take the back of the saw over here. I'll have to take this off. These 4 little screws with my little H4. Pull this off of here and hold on to the back while we twist this to the right, because this is right hand thread or left hand thread or whatever the fuck backwards is. It's backwards, okay? Right means off, okay? So we're gonna do that. And I'm kind of wondering, I'm trying to trace this oil here. I'm wondering if it's coming down here and coming out this way. But it's real hard to tell, because I was worried that it's actually coming out right here where this crack is, right down in there. But I don't know if it's residual or whatnot, because it was setting in like that much oil and water that was in that box over there. But anyways, let me get to the other side, pop off that, and see if we can take this little clutch thing off here. Alright, we got all the screws off there. Take these wires off, move this shit out of the way. Yours ain't gonna be that loose because I just loosely put it on there. But you're gonna have to hold on to this and then get to the other side with either a pair of pliers or a screwdriver, like a flathead screwdriver. You can get in here in this little groove right there, or this one, and knock it the right way. Or like I said, I've seen people use a pair of pliers. See if I can demonstrate it. I haven't done it myself, so get a pair of pliers and they'll kind of stick the handles in like that and twist it. We'll give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, well, I tried that plier trick, and yeah, I'd say that's a lot harder than just getting this, putting it on here and hitting it with a hammer. That's what I had to do, because holding that other side with your hand while you're trying to twist some pliers, it'll eat this hand up on this side pretty good, all them fins back there. But anyways, just get you your little tool here, and it'll tell you off on yours, so just follow that, okay? Put that screwdriver head right here, get it to where that piston will kind of hold up on something in there, and just barely tap it with a hammer, and it'll, you know, loosen off for you. So we're going to take this off real quick, take what's off behind it. This is actually 2 pieces, so when yours comes apart like that, don't freak out. And then there's this here. Take that with you. Going to need that. And we're going to need a Phillips head. Pop that off, and then this plastic crap will actually come out of there too. See if I can get it out of there real quick. Yeah, there's that. So when you put it back together, just do it exactly the same way. Alright, and this is going to be a pretty dirty area whenever you do it. Get you some brake clean or something and spray it all out. Do whatever you want to do. Clean it up. It won't stay clean, so be ready for that. Alright, let's take this screw out of here. Don't lose this. I almost lost it the other day. Okay? This is the only one that's different than all the others. Alright. Pop off this plate here. See, this plate doesn't really look like it's got anything wrong with it. Alright. You see how all that oil's right here built up? I'm kind of thinking it'll fall down in here and come back out the other side. But here's that oiler. It'll rotate. And there's a rod that goes into this shaft here inside, and it'll hit a little dill and spin, and yeah, whatever. You'll see in just a second. If I can get this out of here. If I could get this out of here. If I could get that out, okay. Alright. That's going to leak, so get it to where it'll kind of sit half-ass level. Alright, now here's that oiler. You see inside here, I don't know if you can see, there's that little hole, and when this spins, it'll open up and close and open up and close. And if you take yours apart and it does that, don't freak out. It's supposed to. And then this actually comes off like that. You can see that hole again. And then when you put this back together, it's pretty self-explanatory. This little O-ring right here goes straight down into there. It only sets one way. It'll face up like so, and then that's where you put that rod through, and you're good to go. It only set one way, so it should set just like so. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna clean this up a little bit more with the rag, and basically just put it back together and come back in a day or so and see if it's still leaking. Because if not, I don't think there's a way that I know of that I can take this off without cracking into this housing here, and I really don't want to do that. So we're hoping this is it. I hope it's just something here. I looked inside the oil fill, the reservoir I should say. There's a tube that goes down and will connect to kind of right here. You can make sure that isn't like pushed out or something, because it could leak. But I don't think that's my problem. I looked in there before and I didn't really see anything. But every time I open this up, there's oil everywhere. And then there's supposed to be a little bit, but not all of it. So there could be something wrong with this plate. Maybe it's not to the right depth to really push pressure on this or what. I don't really know. But we're going to go ahead and change it. So we kind of got this area cleaned up a little bit, and I went ahead and cleaned these up just a tad. And got this new rubber line out here. It's going to be kind of hard to do with just one hand. But slide these back together. This doesn't really matter how it goes in there, because it just spins. Either way, it don't really matter. And then turn this the right way, put it in there. Now keep in mind, this goes down. If I can get on the camera, this goes down, that goes up. So you got this little square piece kind of set in here just like so, and then it kind of bends up this way and over. And then, yeah, push this out and down. Push that down into place. We'll get it in there. Need both hands. Alright, and it should look kind of like that there. I wish I had my tripod, and I haven't needed it in a while, but I tell you what, just doing this stuff with one hand really ain't easy, huh? Anywho's. Why are you not coming out of there? There we go. And this should go, how does it go on here? Something like this. Something like, ooh, this might be wrong. Look. I should set that in there. Just gotta bend it in a weird way. Maybe it's new and improved. It's a little bit bigger than the old one in this corner up here. Especially here. So maybe they just, I don't know, did it like that on purpose? I don't fucking know. Not a Husqvarna tech. Anyways, get this back down on here. And, yeah. Okay. Get you this here. I really hope this works, because otherwise I really don't know right now. I know at the end of this video we'll figure it out, but right now I don't really know what else it would be. See, that shouldn't be like that. I just basically bent the damn thing into place. We'll keep going. It's not a big deal. There. That should be more than good enough. Okay. Then when you finish up putting all this crap back together, definitely make sure it's still oils, okay? Just put the bar and everything back on. Start it. Hold your bar next to something and, you know, run it for a minute and make sure there's an oil slick kind of right where that bar was at. Okay, then we got that there. This here goes on lefty. You don't got to worry about getting this super tight, because it'll tighten itself while it's running. Alright, need both hands again. Got to hold one side, tighten it just a little bit. Alright, so I kind of want to let this sit here for just a second and see if there's going to be any oil coming out, because if it's not too tight, or, you know, moving it around a little bit, that won't get a good seal, excuse me, and it'll leak pretty bad through here. But I'm not seeing anything down low like here where it would kind of run down, hit this, come over, and drip down in here. So that's good. And it looks like this sets in a really good spot too. So hopefully this will be alright. And I bought all this stuff. Yes, it was online. But this is Husqvarna, so surely it should do exactly what it's supposed to. I don't know if they had a problem with this stuff and just decided to make a little bit better parts. I don't really know. But it doesn't look to me like it's leaking at all, which is good. So I'm going to finish putting this together. I just got this a little bit hand tight. Just grab it, twist it with your hands. And now we're going to throw the rest of the crap on here, and we should be good, hopefully. I don't want to speak too soon. What am I doing? Getting ahead of myself. I guess that's what happens when you just want it to be done. Alright, I need both hands to put this chain on here. Alright, we got this stuff thrown on here just a little bit. Not exactly in the right spot. You'll move this around and get it set in place, because in this bar, there's a little indentation in the hole where this sets down in, and then you'll, you know, tighten the chain and everything up, and should be right on the money. We'll put the other side back on off camera, and you should be good. Okay, it shouldn't leak oil no more. Quit it. Alright, a little bit of if you didn't know before I finish putting this back together. So on this saw, you only got the one adjustment here. Loosen that up a little bit, but you want to make sure that this is still pretty loose and isn't super loose to where it'll eat up this bar here, and it's not super tight to where it makes this stuff real hot, doesn't oil properly, and all that crap. So just get it to where it's, you can move it around and it's not like gonna fall out, but not be too tight. You'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't know how to do that, ask somebody that does, so you don't mess up your new saw or your bar and you don't have to go spend a bunch of money on it. There's something else. Oh yeah, make sure when you put this saw back together that this works properly, because if you didn't, obviously you wouldn't be able to get this back on here right. But just, you know, if you do, you took it off like I told you not to do, okay? Make sure it works, alright? That's all I'm saying. And we'll put this other side on quick. I want to make sure this thing oils and does what it's supposed to, and then I'm going to spray it with some brake clean on the bottom, try to clean up a lot of this stuff, and we're going to let it sit in a dry spot and see if it's going to leak again. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now we gotta clean some more. Alright, we're going to put this thing right over here. Now you can tell that wasn't wet before, or at least looked wet, okay? So we're going to come back in a day or so, and I might check on it later today too. See if any of that oil comes out of that thing again. And if it does, well, I might just go ahead and put this video up anyways, so at least somebody knows what the inside of the chainsaw looked like, and it wasn't for nothing. But anyways, we'll check on it later. And see if we still got a leak. Hope this fixes it, because brand new saw shouldn't be leaking like that. First of all, I shouldn't be working on it, at least till next year. Anyways. Let's get out of here. Okay. Alright, I picked my saw up and it's been sitting around here for maybe an hour. Come up here, I was going to put some cardboard under it, let it set some more, but when I get to looking under here, you can tell where I thought it was leaking is super dry. Turn it upside down, give me a better view here. Super dry. But anyways, it looks like it's leaking out of here, and it's super, I mean, it's hard to see anything in here. But right there, where it looks like that plastic is put together, right here, it looks to me like it's leaking right there. And I don't, maybe it's just busted or something, I don't really know. It seems to me like I'm going to have to take this whole thing and bust it in half somehow, if that's even possible, and figure out where under here or right here it's leaking. So, okay, I've already started taking this handle off here. There's a bolt here, two here, and I think that's it, holding it on there. And then I'm going to have to tear everything apart that I've already had apart probably to continue. So we'll cut back when we were where we are later, or however you want to, I don't know. Alright, we got it tore all the way apart, and I think I figured out what it is. It looks to me like it's leaking out of whatever this is right here. I don't really know, but I'm about to find out. So I think I can maybe unscrew that. I think it'll unscrew and it locks into a certain spot. I don't really know, but we'll find out and I'll get back with you. Alright, upon further investigation, I think I found the leak. It's actually whatever this little thing is. And I took it out of here already. But yeah, it sets in a little groove in here. Real hard to see. Let me point at it with this. It sets in a little groove in there. Jesus, dude. Light? Something. Hang on. See that little groove it sets in right there? And it pushes down. But what you got to do, and I can't hold the light in this, so you're just going to have to bear with me. What you got to do is twist it out of there and then pull it straight up. And I just use a small little pair of them things right there. And pull it up. And then once it pops out where it is now, you kind of just push back. For God's sake, this thing's so hard to hold on to. You push back like that, this way, and then straight out. And I have no idea if this camera could focus. I have no idea what this is. Does it say on here? No, it just has some numbers. Anyways, but that's what I'm pretty sure is causing this leak. And it was really throwing me for a loop because you can't see any of this because all this is sitting on here like that, covering it up. And I don't even know what the hell this is or what it's for. I don't know anything about it. But let me see if I can get a part for this. Put it in there. And hopefully all this will stop leaking oil, for God's sake. So now you guys know how to do that. This here. And that. Whatever. I'll have to get back with you on the name of that. I don't know what it is. But anyways. Yeah. I hope this helps you guys fix your saw. I'll have to get back with you to see if this actually does it. But yeah, it should. I don't see anything else that would be leaking oil. So, good to go, I think. Alright, well, I think I finally found where this was on their website here. And it took a minute to traverse through their website because it's kind of weird. But once I finally got to the parts list thing that they have online here, and mine doesn't say 2, but I just went ahead and did 442 because that was the only thing close to it. I clicked through a bunch of these to look through to see if I can see anything remotely close to what I was looking for. It led me to the chain brake and clutch cover. Actually, that's wrong. It's crankcase. That's the one I was on. But if you zoom in here, you can see number 9 right there. Kinda resembles this little guy. Okay, and if you scroll over here to find number 9, you highlight it. It is a oil screen. There's the part number right here, the price and quantity and etc. I'm gonna see if I can find one. I don't know if I can actually purchase on this website. I might do it, I might not, who knows. But that's a part number for this if you need it. And I think I'm gonna pick one of these up. Hopefully it won't be that expensive, and then hopefully fix it. I don't know why this one would be leaking. I mean, I can't really show you, but there's not like a O-ring that goes around it here. It's just like solid plastic. So I don't really know why it would be leaking. Maybe it's just a faulty part, but that's where we found this. So hopefully it fixes it. I'll see y'all whenever it comes in. Alright, we're going to do this. We're doing this after we actually ordered the part. But I put this back in here. And I want you to watch this because I went ahead and cleaned it off, sprayed it with some more brake clean, dried it off with a rag. But I'm going to flip this over and you'll see where this oil's, just pouring out of this thing. But I can't wrap my head around why this is leaking. I don't know why you'd need to take it off. There's no O-ring in it. And it doesn't even screw in. You just push it in and clip it over. So for it to be leaking this bad and to have no one saying anything about it, maybe this is just a one in a million problem, you know what I mean? I don't know why this would be leaking. Normally it's this, and that's why I went ahead and got that stuff and replaced it. Not a big deal. It wasn't super expensive. But I just want to, double, triple check this is it, because it don't sit right with me that would be the problem. But I'm going to let this sit here for just a couple seconds, and then I'm going to flip it back over, and yeah, I don't know. It should leak, but I don't know why it would. I'll go ahead and put a little bit of oil in it. Another thing that I noticed is this new part here. Now this is my fault. This isn't the people I bought it from. But it's actually wrong. And I noticed it. I didn't think too much of it whenever I put it on there. I just thought it was made different. Let me back this thing up a little bit. But you can see how much it overlaps. And it don't really look wrong, but then you realize that this right here was made to be like recessed into, and this one sets over it, and sometimes right on top of it in certain areas, so it didn't press it all the way down either. But I sprayed this and kept it that way, and it just keeps getting a little damp right there on the edges. And I'm almost 100% sure that's where that oil leak was coming from, but I can't wrap my head around why it would be leaking out of there. But anyways, we're going to disco this thing somewhere. Probably just get rid of it, to be honest. I don't need it. Keep the new little oil tube in there and the old plate. I don't think there was really any reason to buy a new one, but I did just cuz. And when this part comes in a couple days, we'll replace this here, and we should be good to put it all back together. I'll clean it all up, get a lot of this oil and wood chips off of it, and make it look a little better. Hopefully that does it, because I mean, I just bought this saw, and it's leaked so much. I've only used it a couple times, but boy does it look like it's just dirty. That oil cakes in everything. So anyways, we'll see. Alright, it's the second day. I drew out how the saw was sitting, and it was before I took some stuff off it, because I was doing some looking with Dad. But the side over here barely leaks at all, but the front leaks a lot, as you can tell. Now this is like a period of, I don't know, 10 hours of setting, and it looks to me like this leaks just a little bit through the crack. But what my serious leak is right here, right there in that crack. Let me see if I can get the light on it. You can see down in there that oil that's coming by, and I just blew this out. Me and Dad blew all this oil out with some air, cleaned it up a little bit, and still within just a minute it's leaking out of this crack. And I don't know if anybody else has had a problem with these saws that's this bad. I mean, this saw is brand new. It shouldn't be having these problems. Like this saw, let me see if I can find a date on it. It was supposed to be 2024. Let me see here. I don't even know where to look on this damn thing. Yeah, 2023 is what it says right there on the side. You can see it in the middle there. Anyways, but I bought this a couple months ago. I don't even know. It wasn't that long. I don't remember how long it was. It wasn't long enough to cut really anything with it. It's had a serious oil leak. And every time I go to put... Well, where'd my box go? It doesn't matter. You've seen the freaking oil slick it left over there. That's where I set it yesterday, and it did that in an hour. And then we have this overnight. I mean, this is ridiculous. Husqvarna, if anybody has any ties with these people, let them know that this is a serious problem that comes from the manufacturer. This is nothing I did, nothing you guys did, but be aware that if you have a bad oil leak, it could be in this seam right here. You can see how they kind of molded it. There's no way that I know of to take this apart unless you take all this whole saw apart. Then maybe you can take it apart, or maybe you take all the parts out of it, you buy the plastic. I mean, that's ridiculous as a consumer to buy a saw and then within a month have to change and or buy a whole nother. I mean, that's crazy to me. Anyways, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to see if I can get away with getting some sort of epoxy or glue, cleaning this up really good, scuff it up, and then run some of that in between the seam, kind of up here, and actually on the back side too, because I'm worried it's leaking back here as well. But anyways, that's all I got for right now. We'll be back when we get some sort of epoxy or something. I don't remember where we left off, but I know where we're at now. We're going to take the oil out of this, put it back into this nasty jug here, and we're going to let this dry for about an hour or so while I go work on a car for my cousin. And then when we come back, we're going to scuff up this plastic and use some of this construction adhesive, which, me and this stuff, we go way back, alright? I actually just fucked up the top of my septic tank with, not this, but another construction adhesive that looks like, I don't know, a silicone tube that you put in a gun. Anyways, I'm going to let this stuff dry out, but when I come back, I'm going to get some sandpaper and do this off camera, kind of clean this up, but scuff it a little bit so this thing has something to grab onto. And we're going to put it nice, good glob of goo, like all in this thing. And then hopefully it'll seal it up. So, yeah, we'll get it done. And then you guys will know if it works. So you don't have to guess, like me. So, anyways. Alright, I took some 320 here. I'm about to scuff this up like I was telling you guys about. You can use probably anything. I didn't want to use something too rough like 80 or 40 like I got laying over there. I didn't want to scuff this up too much, but just enough to give this thing something to grab onto like I was saying. So this should be more than enough. I gotta figure out how I'm going to fold it up and kind of get it in there. But I just wanted to show you guys before I got started. Alright, we got it scuffed up enough here. Like I said, I'm going to try to put this all the way across. And we got to figure out how we're going to close this up so we don't ruin it. Get it back in there. Alright. Get something to put in the lid of this, and then I'm going to move it around, get it kind of set up. Alright, I went ahead and got this all situated, got it cleaned up. Goodness gracious, there's a lot more zoom than I was ready for. But you can see it right there in that crease. I got it up there in the back, just how I wanted. This stuff, construction adhesive, says it has like a 24-hour... Yeah, right here, cure time, 24 hours minimum. It does say, I'm pretty sure you can paint it. I'm not really worried about it. I just wanted to stop the oil from leaking. So, yeah. The only thing that was kind of a loss here was the cap. I was going to stick a nail in and try to keep it, but I don't want to lose a whole tube because I wanted to put a nail in it. So I went ahead and put the cap back on and put this in the toolbox for if we need it later and throw this away. Alright, it's been a couple days. The stuff is pretty solid. I mean, still, I can push my fingernail into it. I don't think that's a big deal, though. It might need a little bit longer. But it's been a couple days. This is supposed to be fine by now. So, yeah. I'm going to flip this on its side, put some oil in it, flip it upside down, let it set for another day or so, see if there's any leaks, and go from there. So, yeah, I'm going to put some oil in this thing, and I'll see you guys in another day or so. Alright, this thing's been sitting for a solid, maybe 7 minutes. What you got there? Oh, raisins. Anyways, you can see where it's starting to leak out of the front here. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they put this together like a bunch of fuck-up-ass Legos. Anyways, we're going to have to drain this thing out again. This is fucking pissing me off, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, drain this out again, clean it up, and then put some more of this shit that I don't want to see on the front of my fucking saw up here in the front of my saw to fix something that should have been right when I bought it the first time. Anyways, we'll get to that in a little bit. I gotta figure out where the hell I'm gonna put this oil at. Because I took the jug up to my brother and I don't have it no more. We'll figure it out. Alright, I want you to watch this really quick here. You can see it coming out of this fucking crack. God, this makes me so mad. Anyways, my nose is running. Hope I don't get sick here soon. That'd be really gay. Anyways, we're going to fix that up. Hopefully. I don't really know. Gonna get some sandpaper, sand it back, put some of the goop on it, and call it a day. Hell, it might even go all the way up here because... Why not? No, I'm probably only going to go right here. I'm going to get the Sharpie and mark off right there, I think. And do that. I don't know. Alright, this is how we're going to leave it. It's pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. This doesn't have like a big groove like down here that you can push it into. I just sanded as much as I can across the top and kind of rubbed it in there. And I wanted to leave this a bit rough here. I'm gonna see if I can get this to focus a little bit better here. See how it's got the roughness? Of course, it's not smooth. I just dabbed it with a rag because I figured if I was gonna have to put anything else on it, I need to have something to grab onto. So honestly, if this doesn't work, I got a little wood burning kit over here in my toolbox. I might try to burn that plastic in on itself and see if I can get it to stop. If not, I'm gonna have to see if I can call them and say, hey, your saw's fucked up. I need to see about manufacturer warranty or something I could do, because I mean, surely this isn't an everyday thing with these saws. Anyways, when we get down to the house, we're gonna let this sit for a while and we'll be back. Alright, well, I went ahead and I put a second coat on this here. I let this sit overnight, and right around in here where the oil was leaking out of, there was a little bitty hole where it was seeping through, and this, it basically just moved the epoxy stuff out of the way, or silicone, whatever you want to call this. It moved it out of the way, so I just went ahead and recovered it again and let it dry some more, because that overnight the oil dropped down here, so it's not coming out. This oil is really thick. So hopefully it'll seal it. We'll come back and we'll find out. If worst comes to worst, like I said, we'll try one more thing, and then we're going to have to see about getting this whole plastic piece here. So, yeah, we'll be back. Today's the day right before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody. If you guys do that, I don't really like doing it, but I got to. You know how that is. Anyways, Merry Christmas, and hope everything goes well for you guys. We'll be back in the next day or so and see if this thing will leak or not. Alright, here we are. This has had time to dry for sure. See? Went ahead and threw some oil in it, set it up right, and we're just going to let it set again. Another, I don't know, a couple hours. I'll check on it, see what's up. We did have quite a bit of oil under this for some reason. I don't know why it was back up in here in this plastic lip here. Don't know why that would have been there unless it leaked down and out that way. We're having a problem with this whole case, I'm pretty sure, at this point. And the more I keep getting into it, the more it's starting to irritate me, as you can tell. So, anyways, we're going to see if this works. If not, then start calling people and see what we can figure out. I'm not real sure. Hopefully this does it. Alright, well, it's leaking above it again. I'm telling you, it's this whole case. So I'm going to see if I can do some calling at some point, see what they'll tell me, and if I can't get a hold of them, I'm just going to try to use my little soldering thing over there and melt that plastic back down together and hope like fuck it works, because otherwise I just spent like $340 something on a saw that leaks like this out of the box. It's unreal. But anyways, we're gonna see. A little bit demoralized right now. You guys know how it is. Well, it's a gloomy day. But I think this is where we're gonna stop this video. It's getting awfully long, and it's the same problem over and over again. I bet you guys are tired of seeing it, and so am I. Anyways, we're gonna get to the house and see if we can call these people. But thank y'all for watching. I'll update you whenever we find the answer.